We're gonna make this a summer to remember, so let's make some 2025 summer bucket checklists. I know so many people do, not just the word saying it, but using it in your day-to-day life. So how can we make a nostalgic summer for 2025? Let's start with a summer bucket list. All right, when I think of summer, there's a few key memories I have that I would love just to recreate in a new sort of way. I think one of the elements that can get lost when trying to create nostalgia for yourself in the present is trying to recreate a memory exactly the way it happened. It's just not gonna always feel the same. We're almost halfway through the year, so if you had things that you created that you wanted to do in 2025, but it feels overwhelming, let's make a small fun list for the next 3 months that we can focus on and see where we are by the fall. One of my favorite memories. So I think this was between my freshman and sophomore year of college. It was so hot. I mean, it always is in Arizona, but it was so hot, and my grandmother's air conditioning had gone out, and it was gonna be a couple days before the repairs were made, and my mom didn't want my grandma to have to sleep in her house in the heat, and so she told her to come stay at our house in my room. And this necklace actually has my grandmother's name on it. I absolutely loved her. She was the best grandma. But I look back on that summer with so much joy because it was probably just for a couple days, but it is a very core memory for me. My bedroom had 2 beds in it. I had a bunk bed and a full-size bed. So my grandma stayed in the full-size bed and I was in the bunk bed. I remember there were just like hilarious moments where grandma would get up and she would grab her pillow to cover herself. She'd grab her pillow and she'd walk down the hall to my brother's room and she'd be like, "Cooper, your TV's too loud." And I don't even know if he had the TV on. But while she was staying with us, we did some really fun things. I remember that we watched Die Hard one night. I don't know if she had ever seen it before. And if you're the kind of person who thinks that it's only a Christmas movie, I do think it's definitely a Christmas movie. But I also feel like most action movies can be watched year-round. So on my list, I'm gonna start with making like a fun, memorable movie night. I don't think I wanna make too big of a party or too big of a deal because that can just be added stress, and this is supposed to be fun. So I'm just gonna write down family movie night. And if we want to watch Die Hard, it'll be great. If we don't watch Die Hard, any kind of action movie would be fun. What would make this even better is if I could get my family from Arizona to fly out to Texas, not just for the movie night, but to spend, like, remembering that sleepover I had with my grandma. Now that my mom is a grandma, that could be a fun thing to do. So let's see if I can convince my parents to come out. Along the line of movies, there's always so many good movies that come out during the summer. So I would say a date night for Max and I to see some of the movies. We truly have hit that side of parenthood where movies that come out in theaters we haven't gone to see because we're home with the baby and we don't have a way to go to watch because we'd have to get a babysitter, and that's just, babysitters add up. What should be a $30 date to go see a movie becomes like $100 really fast. A movie theater date. Yes, we love the movies. I've got 2 movie related things. Moving away from screen related stuff. I loved crafting at home over the summer. That would be most things related to my sewing machine. If you saw recently my banquette that I built, this right here, there's a skirt below seating area that got torn during the renovation of our house. I want to fix that, but I'd also love to do other crafting things. I'd love to make him some new curtains for the sides. He has a blackout Roman shade for the middle, and then on the side I've got just these white curtains. So either there or in here, I'd love to get maybe new fabric for our banquette area, something fun and festive. We've recently discovered that our baby loves getting to do water activities. So I think we should get him either a tiny like kiddie pool or one of those like yard water things that he can play in. I would love to make that kind of a weekly thing, maybe a certain night of the week where we do our little water activity at home. There's just nothing better than being in the sunshine, getting a little sun-kissed, and getting to be exhausted from joy. Good food is something we need all year long, but making your own good food, something really special about it. This week I made, I think they're called salted honey Parker House dinner rolls, and they're incredible. I had so much fun getting to make good food for my family. So we did decide once a week on Sundays we're gonna try to make a larger family-oriented meal together. I think if you can plan a trip somewhere, absolutely you should, because I think a vacation everybody deserves. We would love to do one. There's a couple of things we have in mind, but we need to like check dates. So plan a trip somewhere. A few years ago, one thing we started doing was taking advantage of like 4 to 5 day trips instead of trying to make a full 6, 7, 8 day trip happen, you know, because you've got a week of vacation. And so we used to do something like, oh, let's go from Sunday to Sunday, so that we leave on like the end of one weekend and we'll get back before work on the next. And sometimes that's great, but we found that we usually ended up coming back home more exhausted than rested. And then it got way more expensive, so it really narrowed down our options. So doing something like a 3-4 day trip somewhere, we actually found we've maximized most of it out of doing it like that. Make 4th of July plans. I think there's nothing more stressful than when getting to the 4th of July and feeling like you have nowhere to go hang out with people, that you don't have anything fun going on. So I would love to maybe host a 4th of July party just in case nobody's got anything going on, but something for the 4th, plan something fun for the 4th of July. All right, that is my summer bucket list. We've got make a fun night with an action movie, see if we can visit with my parents, a movie theater date, crafting. And I want to craft a lot. Like I want to do a lot of fun crafts besides just sewing. Oh, I used to like sew things by changing out the buttons on my clothes. I would go thrifting and then I would like alter things up and make them really joyful that way. We did pick up some fabric before Joann's closed, so that's definitely in the wheelhouse. Weekly water activity, a Sunday dinner, plan a trip, and 4th of July plans. I think those are great goals to have for the summer. That's so fun. I can't wait to make something of this. And I'm gonna go ahead and start by trying to sew the banquette back together. So let's start with one of our bucket list items. And I don't know if I'll fully even cross that off for the summer because I wanna do more of them, but let's start with sewing something. These are now anchored together. I just put 2 screws, one up here and then one at an angle on the opposite end. If I had done this the first time, then the skirt never would have broken, but now it's done. Now I can focus on the skirt part, which I've been so looking forward to doing, and can pull my sewing machine out and my little skirt foot for the sewing machine, which is, I find that really fun.